Yo, yo, yo. What up, what up, what up? Happy Sunday, happy soulful Sunday. Peace and love and all of that good stuff. What's happening? Welcome to another week of Sunday Light. Here with your boy, LaShawn Sugary Marston, also known as World Healer, Chief Minister of Healer World Ministries. What's the deal? What's going on, my brothers and my sisters? Happy Sunday. Listen, we got a lot to celebrate. It's June 1st. Summertime right around the corner. It's a new month. At the beginning of the week on a Sunday, it's always beautiful when the month starts on a Sunday. All right, it's fresh month, fresh week, fresh start, June 1st. All right, got out of that rainy May. May was extremely rainy and some cold days, but we made it and we are here. And we're here again with another episode of Sunday Light. Today, we're going to talk about the beauty and the power in intentional sacrifice and suffering. The beauty and the power and intentional sacrifice and suffering. Champ 1711, what's going on, Uncle? Yo, Chase the Legacy, what's going on, nephew? Peace and love, man. I'm really proud of you, young fella. You're doing great things. You're doing great things in your life, man. I'm so proud of you and your crew, man. A lot of people in your crew, your circle are doing great things, young fella. I'm proud of you. So my voice, it doesn't sound like normal. It's been almost 80 hours since I've had any water. All right, we just completing a 31-day watermelon challenge. Kimona and I, my fiance and I, and of course me just being extra. So I'm gonna do the last 3 days with nothing. So since Wednesday night, I haven't had any water, any watermelon juice. I haven't had anything. And so this is real fasting. While still working, right? Still worked out. I worked out every day. Hit my 10,000 step goal every day. Hit 16,000 steps yesterday. All right, and we are here. Still strong, right? Stronger than I was last month, right? At the beginning of the challenge. Physically stronger, spiritually stronger. I dropped almost 40 pounds. 169 this morning. I might be 168 after that workout. All right. I'm 168 by the time I actually put something in my belly. And yeah, happy June. Happy June. Happy June. Happy June. I'm gonna start with a prayer. All right, we're gonna pray. Because as you know, this work, this life, this mission that we're all on, our individual missions and our collective mission as a human family to elevate, to vibrate higher, to take humanity into another paradigm, it takes great work, great effort. It takes a lot of yourself. It takes a lot of you, right? A lot of your energy, a lot of your essence, a lot of your ideas, a lot of perseverance and a lot of resilience and resistance and persistence. And it takes a lot of community. It takes a lot of support for each of us. And so I pray, my prayer this Sunday morning is June 1st. My prayer is that each of us, number one, realizes and accepts our purpose on the earth, accepts our mission. We came here for something. We didn't come here just to lollygag, just to fool around. We didn't come here just to exist and then die. That is not why we came to this planet. That is not why our parents created us and why their parents before them created them and dreamt of us. That's not the reason. We are here to manifest our destiny. We are here to take humanity to another level. We are here to reveal what's possible when you believe in yourself, when you have faith in your vision and in your mission and in your creator, when you have faith in your brother and in your sister and in your mother and in your father and in your son and in your daughter. I pray that we each not only realize and accept our mission, but I pray that we have the strength and conviction to see it through. I pray that we have the resilience and the courage to keep going when it gets hard, to keep going when it seems like no progress is being made, to keep going when it feels like we have no support, to just keep going, even if it's just you. Because even when it's just you, the divine is there with you, guiding you and protecting you. So I pray that each of us remember when it gets lonely, we are not alone. Our ancestors are there. Our ascended masters, those who came before us, who are not connected to us by blood, they are there with us, rooting us on, cheering us on, pulling for us. I pray that we recognize this spiritual support, and I pray that we forge forward, even when our bodies are weak, and even when it feels like we got no more. I pray that we endure, because I've learned in my own life that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that if you keep going, You will reach a destination in which you will feel satisfied and comfortable, and it will all be worth it. And so I pray that we don't give up on our dreams. I pray that we don't give up on our dreams. I pray for us as a human family, and I pray for those souls who have already transitioned, who were not able to realize their dreams, who passed on before they could recognize how strong they really were and how divine their life path was for them. I pray for those souls and those families who bear the burden of dreams unfulfilled. That's my prayer this morning. That's my prayer. Thank you, guys. This is some emotional work, man. Yo, be brave. What's going on, cousin? It's some emotional work, man. This is emotional work, yo. This work that we're on, this journey that we're on, each of us in our own way, is very emotional and it's deeply spiritual. And so I pray for all of you, my brothers and my sisters, by blood and by bond, that you have the strength, the courage, the conviction, and the support to see it all the way through. So we're going to talk about the beauty and the power in intentional suffering and sacrifice. The beauty and the power in intentional suffering and sacrifice. I'm 41 years old, and those who are around my age, a little older, maybe a little younger, have heard it. There's no pain. There's no gain without pain. Right? No pain, no gain, they say, right? That said a lot relating to fitness, right? People in fitness say that a lot, right? And working out, in sports, right? No pain, no gain. If it don't hurt, it ain't working, right? They chant that, they spit that, right? And we think it just is related to sports or fitness, but this is real life, right? If it does not hurt, it's not transforming you. And each of us, no matter what luxury we are born into, no matter what life we are born into, no matter how talented we are innately, no matter how gifted and smart and intelligent we are innately, all of us can be transformed. All of us have more to give, have more to become, have more to have. There is more for each of us to have. So even if you think you got it all, material, there's more, right? That's not material, right? Even if you think you got all of the stuff internally, non-material, right? There's more that you can have that's material. It's more of everything for everyone. But you have to become more in order to have more. And then when you have more, you can do more, you can give more. And that's what it's about. It's about being more so you can have more, so you can do more for humanity, for the world, for your family, for your children, for your parents. I want to create a gig for my mother, which is not really a job. She's 63. But I want my aspiration is to create a gig for my mother, move her out of the projects, right? And have a gig for her so that she can be satisfied in making her own income, so she can put her work in and generate her income, which is going to be there no matter what. Right? I aspire to retire my wife, this is about to be my wife, right? My fiance, like ASAP, right? She loves her gig. She's doing great. She's an educator, right? She works with children. She loves it. But I know that there's more. She knows that there's more. So I want to retire her. I want to retire my sisters. My sisters work too hard. I want to retire my brother, right? My brother Naki is incredible filmmaker, incredible writer, right? Incredible photographer, right? But he has a gig. He loves it. He makes great money. He takes care of his family. But if he had that income without that time constraint, right, he would do more. He would be more. He would be happier. He would be healthier, right? And so that's my aspiration, all right? And so I ask myself, how can I, as one individual, affect all of those people and get closer to accomplishing my goals, my dreams, manifesting my vision, so that I can then provide for them what they each want, need, and deserve? Okay, I got to sacrifice. What do I sacrifice? Everything. My blood, my sweat, my tears, my time, my energy, my essence, right? My health, right? Not in a way that's bad, right? Not where I'm going to go unhealthy. No, but I'm going to sacrifice what's common. Sacrifice what I'm used to. Sacrifice what I've always done. I'm going to sacrifice, right? It's fucking freaking, excuse my language, right? Like 31 days of watermelon plus 3 days of just breath, which is really 28 days of watermelon, which is really 24 days of watermelon, because each week, Monday, I don't eat anything or drink anything, right? Like sacrifice. Put myself in an intentional suffering position, right? So that I can ultimately come out on top, because you see, I got foresight. They say hindsight is 20/20. And so, I mean, if you got foresight, you seeing beyond the spectrum, right? You seeing past what's there, right? So you can look back and like, oh, I could have done, I should have done. If I could do it again, I would do. That's great to recognize. But you can save yourself time, energy, and effort if you can see ahead. And so I say, okay, I'm going to suffer intentionally and sacrifice intentionally for a period of time so that ultimately at the end of this sacrifice, I can cause a miracle. I can create a miracle. I am the miracle, right? Like that's how you have to start to see yourself. You are the miracle. But like a genie, right? Like in a bottle, like you got to rub that thing, baby. You like the miracle is not just going to appear. You got to work for it. You got to sacrifice for it. And as the good word says, you got to suffer for it. At the end of suffering is greatness, is legendary status, right? Is manifestation of that which you've hoped for, that which you've sacrificed for. You sacrifice for something. Listen, my mouth is so dry. We all going to go through pain. We are all going to experience pain and hardship and failure and loss. We might as well get something from it. So if you're gonna experience pain anyway, why not make it intentional? If you're going to suffer anyway, whether your own personal suffering from finances, from relationship failures, breakups, divorces, right? Like so many of us have had, right? If you're going to have health issues, if you're going to suffer, your sacrifice your spirit, right, and your happiness to generate income to provide for your family, right? Sacrifice, right? If that's going to happen as a happenstance of living, why not find ways to make it intentional? Why not find ways to say, I'm going to intentionally? Because again, you know that you suffer for 20, 25 years on your job, providing for your family so that you can send your children to college, have a good home, have a good transportation, car, take trips, right? Live comfortably with clothing and food and all of the things that you need, basic and a little extra or a lot extra for some. All right. Like if you know that you're going to sacrifice, and at the end of that 20-year, 25-year, 30-year sacrifice, you hope, right? You have faith that there is a reward. Why not then suffer intentionally? Why not then put yourself in a position where you go without that which you are accustomed to? You go without that which you may need for survival. They say you need water to survive. They say you can't go more than 3 days without water. Clearly, that's a lie. They say Jesus went 40 days. They say Gandhi went 14 days. There are many people. Dr. Sebi has, I think, gone 40 days with no water. I think, there's many, right? Dick Gregory went a bunch of days without water, and then freaking year and a half with just juice, right? Year and a half with just juice, no solid foods. Like sacrifice, suffering for the greater good of not only yourself and your family, but for the greater good of humanity, to show humanity what is possible. If you believe, to show humanity what is possible. If you train your mind and you step outside of the norm, you step outside of what they tell you is possible, right? Because there is possibility, right? Is the line. Like, okay, this is possible to the average human mind, right? But then there's greater, there's beyond, right? I had the hat. We was at the Limitless World Summit to start May, right? Like you are limitless. You can do more than you think that you could do. You could do way more than they tell you that you could do, right? Especially respectfully to all people, you got that melanin. You're saturated heavily with that melanin. You can go a little further, right? Like you see us in sports, right? We dominate. You see us in education, right? Academics, we dominate, right? When we push ourselves, though, we got to push ourselves. And a lot of times we don't intentionally push ourselves. Somebody said the other day, all right, Friday, I was at the Rock Nation United Justice Coalition Summit. Shout out to Reform Alliance and my sister, Tamiko Evans, who is pretty high position with that group doing incredible work. The group that worked with Meek Mill and Jay-Z, and they created the whole UJC and right Reform Alliance, super dope, doing great work. Brother Benny from Vinoy Club and Vinoy Magazine, he said most people don't go 3 days without water unless they are forced to, right? Unless they're incarcerated, right? And there's no water, unless they are pretty much kidnapped and held captive and there's no water, or unless they live somewhere and the government is restricting them of water, right? Like in Gaza, right? Like in Congo, right? Like in so many places around the world where the governments are restricting the people from basic human needs, basic human rights, food, clothing, and shelter, right? And people are dying of starvation and dehydration, right? But outside of being forced, most humans ain't gonna go 3 days without water, right? They'll do a 3-day water fast, right? Cool, that's suffering too. I'm not taking away. That's absolutely suffering to not eat solids, right? To not eat for 3 days, to drink only water for 3 days is a sacrifice. But what if you even remove that crutch? Because the water is a crutch. It gives you energy, right? It gives you vitality. You drink water and you feel nourished, right? Especially if it's good water, you drink water, you feel nourished, right? But what if you can do that without that force, right? What if you remove that crutch, that water? And you say, I'm just going to breathe. I'm going to focus on just me and my breath, which is me and spirit, me and God, me and my higher power, me and all of my ancestors. It's just us. It's just you and it's me. And it's us here together. All right? Can you do that? There's beauty in that. It's beauty, number one, in recognizing your internal strength and recognizing the strength of you combined with that of your ancestors, right? Like, yo, L down 47. What's up, my brother? Peace and love. All right? Sefu Sankofa, Mona love, peace and love. Right? Like, my mouth is so dry. It's crazy. I love it though. But yeah, there's beauty in that. There's beauty in putting yourself, say, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one to take the pain. I'm going to be the one to feel all of the heat, right? For the benefit of my family, for the benefit of myself, for the benefit of humanity, of my community. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to show people what's possible. I'm going to show people that you can live outside of the lines. You can, and you can exist, and you can attract the life that you deserve, that you desire, right? You can attract it. You see, it's attracting it, is operating on a certain frequency. You see, the universe is always listening. And so when you sacrifice and you pray and you fast, right? And you pray and you fast and you meditate, right? So you pray, you ask for, you affirm what is and what you desire. But then you meditate and you listen, you sit in the silence and you get the direction and the guidance. That's a bar. You get the direction and the guidance and see which way to go. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I stay still? Right? Sometimes staying still is better than making a move, because you can make a move and it could be right. And then sometimes making a move is better than staying still, because even if you make a move and it's the wrong move, at least you learn, right? At least you learn. And so that's up to your discernment. The only way to have that discernment when to move or when to be still is through deep meditation, because like the heart, the mind, and the spirit are always going to tell you something different, right? Your emotions, right? Your thoughts, right? Your thoughts are not all your thoughts. Your emotions are influenced by what's happening around you. So it's not always your true emotion, right? And like, yeah, but your spirit always knows. But again, it could be three different things, three different messages that you are getting. So the only way to align those, right, is at 1 minute, right, is through prayer. You ask, you move your body, and then you sit in silence and you listen. And then you go. Either you go or you sit. Right, but you don't retreat. And sometimes even then, sometimes you do go backwards, right? Sometimes Sankofa, you go back for what was forgotten. You go back for what you left. Some of us left things in the past, right? Like we left things. We left responsibility that we got to go back for, right? Like I know all about it, right? I know all about it, brothers and sisters. I left my children, not intentionally, right? But essentially it was, right? Like for 18 months. Come on. No. Let's go back. I'm sorry. Bad decision. That wasn't aligned. It was a mind decision. It wasn't a heart and spirit decision. But nonetheless, it was a decision and there was pain. So let's go back and get what was forgotten, get what was left. Right? My babies, I'm sorry. Come on, let's rebuild, please. Please, let's rebuild. Right? I didn't make the best decision. I'm sorry. Right? And then, right, you see, right, we spoke about, right, kintsugi, right? Putting something back together after it was broken. Can you break yourself down and put yourself back together again? Can you intentionally? Prison breaks us down. Relationships can break us down. Living life, especially as a black man or black woman, can break you down, right? And deeper than just black, as a human, life breaks you down. Can you intentionally break yourself down? Can you say, I'm going to take the power in my hands. I'm going to put myself in a position to go without food, to go without sleep, to go without all that is common that they say I need to grow, to live, to thrive. I'm going to go without it intentionally so that I can come out greater at the end, so that I can be refined. Put me through the ringer. I'm ready. I can handle it. I'm not going to die. And if I do, then it was my time. Boss. Right? If I'm not going to die. But if I do, it was my time. There's nothing I can do about that. Right? I'm going to intentionally sacrifice. I'm going to intentionally suffer. Suffering 31 days of watermelon, brothers and sisters. People can't eat just one thing for a day. Humans cannot eat just one thing for a day. Not today's age. Right? Not today's age. No, because there's food all around you. There's juice, there's beverage all around you. The commercials, Even if it's not, watching TV, listening to Pandora, anything with ads, YouTube, they're going to give you some food, they're going to give you something to drink, right, as an advertisement. Get this beverage, get this new thing. You're going to see it walking down the street, driving on the billboards and the subways. People around you are eating and drinking all of the time. We are consumed by consuming. We are consumers. We are consumers consumed by consuming. What a paradox, right? So can you remove yourself? Can you remove that which is common, that which you need, right? Because you do need it for ultimate growth, right? You can't go forever. Maybe you can. There are some people who are breatharians, right? And they don't eat or drink for months at a time, right? Months at a time. The sunlight, right? Sun rejuvenates you. Like every time I go outside, right? Like these 3 days of just breath, it was very hard, especially yesterday, getting out of bed, getting dressed. But once I got outside, that sunlight hit me, felt that breeze on my neck, like, and on my face, like, okay, let's go. We got a little more in us, right? We got a little more in us. Yo, Denny, what's going on? My Indonesian sister, peace and love from New York to Indonesia. Peace and love, my sister. Listen, I got to come to Indonesia. We've been talking about it for years. I'm in a better position. Life is better. My fiance and I would love to travel to Indonesia. We got plans to travel the world. We would love to stop there, right? You have been showing so much love, sent gifts and everything over the years. 10 plus years of friendship. We got to get to Indonesia and meet you, my sister. And we can talk about Boys to Men and all of the music, right? All of the music that we've shared over the years and all of the joys and laughter. We got to get there, right? But again, speaking about that, you have a desire, you have a hope, you have a wish, you have a dream, you have something you want to do. The best way to do it, to accelerate the process of it happening, is to sacrifice fast. Fast, pray, and meditate. Fast, pray, and meditate. Exercise, journal, write. Right? Write your dreams. Write it as if they are. I am, I will. Right? I will and I am. Right? Like this month, I'm writing it and I'm gonna post it. Right? But this month we're going to level up in the most amazing way in just 30 days of June. All right, 30 days of June, we're going to level up in the most amazing way. I got the plan, I got the structure, I got the vision, I got the people around me who could assist me in this level up vision. It's a big level up, it's a big vision, but like quantum leaps, right? Like when you sacrifice and you suffer, you jump leaps and bounds, right? You jump above all of the opposition. You jump above, you're able to cut the tape, right? All of the restrictions, right? Nope, I don't got to go that way. I did this. And they say in our Christian text, right? Our brothers and sisters, Christian texts, they will say, God favors the bold. God favors the bold. Can you be bold enough to step outside of the box? Right? Of the box. Can you step outside of the box? The box says that you need 3 meals a day. The box says that you need water. You can't go without water for 3 days. That's what the box says. Can you step outside of it? Can you trust spirit? It ain't for everybody. But everybody could do it, but everybody won't. So it ain't for them. That's okay. But can you trust spirit? You that's listening, that's watching, don't worry about what other people are doing or not doing. Can you trust spirit enough to carry you when it gets tough, right? When you feel dehydrated, when you feel cotton mouth, right? And you feel weak, like you can't do no more. Can you trust spirit to go a little more? 1 extra minute, 1 extra rep. Can you do 1 more? Can you do 5 more minutes? Can you do 1 more minute, right? Can you do 1 more day, right? Of course you can. So if you can, then do it. Okay, it's a sacrifice, it's suffering, it hurts. No pain, no gain, right? Push yourself, right? Push yourself. Understand the magic and the miracle that you are. You are a miracle. Do you know what it took for you to get here? Do you know how many lives there are possible to be created? Hundreds and hundreds of trillions, and even beyond that number, that will never be created, that will never see this human form, that will never see this sunlight, that will never see the moonlight, that will never experience this vibration. Hundreds of trillions of billions, right, of gazillions of life forms will never be here. But you are here. You think you're here for nothing? You think you're here just to play around? That's what you think? That's what you believe in your heart that you're here to do? To just exist and not accomplish your dreams and not achieve your goals and not live life that's in your heart, that you see in your mind when you lay down in silence and you envision a better life for yourself, a bigger home, a better car, right? A better partner, right? Like a better partner, man, like children who adore you, right? A network of people and family and friends who support you and who celebrate with you and who you celebrate with and support, because they're equally as great. They're equally doing incredible things in their lives, overcoming obstacles and challenges and accomplishing their dreams. Like, come on. You think you're not here for that? You think that's not possible for you? It is. But you got to go through the fire to get there. You have to go through the fire. Listen, fire burns. But fire purifies. Fire refines. Fire refines. Don't you want to be refined? Don't you want to be more than what you are? Come on. Come on. Come on. The fire. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it burns. Yes, it's hot. But you're not willing to go through that to get more beauty at the end on the other side. If everything you want, say everything you wanted, right, is on the other side of fear. Everything you wanted is outside of your comfort zone. Go beyond. Rise above the fear. Rise above the inhibition. Rise above what society says is possible for you, my brothers and my sisters. Rise above it. Rise above it and sacrifice. There was a time, listen, I denounced money at one point in my life, right? I came from prison. I hustled when I first came home for about a year and some change, right? I did the same thing I was doing. I had a different mindset, but I was doing the same things. I didn't know how to make money, right? And then I had money, and then I was like, all right, I'm changing my life. I was like, I don't just need to change my life. I need to change my mindset. I need to change my heart space, right? I need to change the dial on my life, because the way it's going, I'm not going to hit my 40s and my 50s and my 60s and the old age that I dream of. So I got to make a change. And so I said, not only am I not hustling no more, I'm not worrying about money no more. And so time went on, and clothes got old and worn, and had about 3 pair of jeans, all had holes in them. One had a big hole in them, but it fit the best, so I still wore them. I had to go to Payless to get sneakers, and they started leaning. All right, my family talked about me, and people donated clothes and sneakers to me, and I wore them. Sometimes a little too big, but I had nothing. I denounced money. I sacrificed. I'm suffering. Ridicule. Oh, you need better sneakers. My family, you hear me? It's my family telling me this. You need better sneakers. You know, I don't like the way you look. Mind you, I'm clean. I'm showering every day, right? Like a little bit of underwear I got at the time, I'm washing out by hand, right? So like I'm clean. I'm not dirty. I'm not stinky. I'm not smelly, right? Like, okay, I let my beard get a little crazy, right? I had no money for a haircut, right? So like, but like other than that, I'm okay. I'm in sound mind, right? I'm not talking gibberish, right? I'm talking about this day. I'm talking about this a day when I'm in my neighborhood, right? Every day feeding my people, right? When I'm leading meditation groups and grief groups and doing these different demonstrations and providing festivals for my neighborhood, and I'm able to laugh and celebrate with my beloved, right? My partner, right? Like I dreamt of this. And so when I was doing that, when I denounced money, and it was about finding my character, who am I? Who am I? Why am I here? I'm not here just to make money and get fly. That's not why I'm here. That's what I thought I was here for, here to get money and die, right? They say get money and die. I'm here for more than that. I'm here to build a new world. I'm here to remind people of what's possible. If you believe, I am world healer. That is my life's mission. That is my purpose, to heal the world and make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Y'all know the song. Y'all know the song. That's my mission. That's my mission. That's my vision. And that's my conviction. And I sacrifice. But you know what? On the other side of it, right? Now my sneakers are not leaning. I got an overabundance of sneakers now. Right? I can give away 20 pair of sneakers and still have. And I've given away sneakers, right? I've given away, so it's not like, oh, I'm hoarding. No, I wear my sneakers, different occasions, right? This is. I have a mission, I have a purpose, I have a specific niche market, right? That I work to aspire, right, or inspire, right? So they could aspire to be more, and that's young people, right? That's young people. That's our young Black men and women in the hood, right? And so, like, regardless of how you feel, how any adult feels, young people are attracted to fashion. Right? If you look good, it's not just young people, it's the world. The world is attracted to well-groomed, fashionable people. They listen to you more. You can say bullshit. You can talk gibberish, but if you got nice clothes, if you got nice teeth, my teeth ain't the best, but they white, right? They all white. My gums are pink, right? Like well-groomed. I shave regularly now, right? Like I shave regularly, right? We regularly shave, and right, you're well-groomed and your clothes fit and they're nice and clean. My clothes are clean. I got so many clothes now. People listen to you more. That's just what it is, right? Like, I'm not here to be the poor righteous teacher. No. All respect to my brothers and sisters who that's their mission. Stand on the corner and preach and be poor and live with their aunts, live with their sister, live with their girl. Great. That's not my mission. My mission is to have my own and provide for my woman and her family, right? And my family's friends, right? That's my mission. Clearly, I'm in a fortunate position where, like, my woman has, right? Like, she's not dependent on me. Right? Not in that way. She stands her ground. She pulls her weight very well. Right? So I'm able to specifically focus on getting myself to a better position so that I can then, all right, babe, I got it. You don't got to worry about that no more. That you ain't never got to touch that bill again. I got it. It's automatic. Paid. Boom. My account. All right? I got it. Don't worry. right? Like use your money for investments, use your money to invest in the children, use your money, things you see when you out, you want for the crib, you want a book or something, like use your money for that. But the bills, the necessary expenses, food, clothing, and shelter, as men, we take on that role when we say we want this woman as our wife, right? And if she has children before us, outside of us, we take on the responsibility of raising those children, regardless of how old they are. We're going to provide, right? The basics for them and even more. That's our responsibility, and we're not all able to do it immediately, and that's okay. That's why it's important to have a partner who's aligned with you, right? Not try to force somebody to see the same way you do. No, it's okay to be like, okay, this feels good, but it's not in alignment with who I am and what I am and what I want. So, like, can you walk away from something that feels good? Intentional sacrifice and suffering. It hurts. Listen, all due respect, I had a cool relationship before, right? Like, it was fun. It was way more great times than bad times, right? It was really fun and it was really good. And people around me love to see us together. And I love to see us together. But it wasn't the click that neither one of us needed, not just me, but her as well. And so we had to, as hard as it was, listen, we got to walk away. It's a sacrifice from what's comfortable, right? You hear the saying all the time, is the devil at home is better than the devil outside? No, it's why you smart the devil's number one, right? It's the devil at home, that's crazy, right? But the sentiment is that what you have is better than what's unknown. And that's comfort. And so people are miserable. People stay in relationships, just like intimate, personal, romantic relationships, marriages, jobs. People stay in jobs longer than they want because they're scared of what's out there. You got to have confidence in yourself and in your journey and say, you know what, this feels great. And I'm really enjoying this, right? Like, and I can drag this on for 5 more years, 10 more years, 20 more years if I really wanted to. But you know what? I'm not feeling like myself. And I know you're not feeling like yourself. And so we're robbing each other of what else is there. And as my life happens, right? I can't speak for everyone, but as my life has gone, every time I intentionally sacrifice and suffer and remove myself from a situation or from doing something and stay confident and stay true to me, it always works out better. Always works out better. And I hope that other people have that same perception, is that it's always working out for you. The losses, the breakups, the hardships is all moving you closer to that which you deserve, desire, and dream of. And now I'm in the best relationship I've ever been in with a partner who we can have difficult conversations and there's no arguments. We're almost a year in and we have not had one single argument. We've had all of the reason that we could argue: miscommunications, freaking 7-hour hikes in the woods, right? Hitting bears in the car, right? We've had all of the reasons, right, that we could cause an argument, right? But no, we really like each other. We really value each other. We really respect and appreciate each other. Separate than what we mean to each other, just who we are in the world. I respect her position in the world as a mother, right? As a woman first, as a mother, as a sister, as an aunt, right? As an educator, right? As a niece, right? As a daughter, right? I respect her position in life. And like, I want to see her shine separate than me. Just her as a human being, who she is. I want her to shine and I want to witness that and help that. And I know she wants the same exact thing for me. That's beauty. And so like, why would we argue? It's a tough thing. Talk about it. Don't let it linger. A lot of arguments come because people don't address things. They don't know how to address it, or they're afraid, or they have a partner who's all of the reasons. But hey, babe, you know, when you said that, or when you did that, or hey, babe, I don't really like that, whatever it is, talk and gain understanding. Keep it pushing. No need for silent treatment, right? There's no need for the cold shoulders. We haven't done any of that. Best relationship ever. But what? It came after sacrifice. And literally, it came after a 40-day freaking fast. Come on. I sacrificed 40 days just coconut water last year. Coconut, I did only coconut water. It wasn't regular coconut water. 40 days and 40 freaking nights of coconut water. At the end of that fast, the breakup happened. Literally, the breakup happened on the last 2 days of the fast. The breakup was happening and ensuing. And then when the fast was over, we communicated clearly, this is over. Cool, sad. I enjoyed that it was comfortable, right? She would clean my room, right? She would cook, right? It's comfortable. Show up for things, comfortable. It's great. But that time has passed. Sacrifice intentionally. Suffer. Walk away for something that is good, for something that is great. Listen, they say when good things fall apart, right? No, they say sometimes good things fall apart so that greater things can come together. Sometimes good things fall apart so that greater things can come together. And I promise you, a month later, 2 months later, right? My heart wasn't, right? Like you say, we break up, you need time to heal. But what if you're not broken? What if, which is I understand now. Like I didn't understand always. Like some people can have a breakup and then be in a relationship 2 months later. That was my mother. My father died, and then my mother was in a relationship 2 months later. Had my brother a year and a half later. All right, I understand everybody's circumstances is different. Some people do it out of loneliness, right? Hurt. They find somebody else. But if you could do it out of I'm not hurt, right? Like okay, I was a little sad, but it's all divine, right? Perception. That's my mindset. It's all divine, right? I've worked on my mindset for freaking my whole life, really, but specifically, intentionally, the last 18 years that I've been home from prison, I've been working on my mindset. It wasn't about my body. It wasn't about my pockets. It was about my mindset. Identifying who am I? Who am I? What am I here for? Why am I here? Why do I exist in this space and time? All right. And then by the end of August, that was June. That was beginning of June. Same time, right? Same time as now. Right. That was from mid-April to June. Yep, same time. Relationship ends. I'm taking it in stride. I'm not depressed. I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. It's all good. It's all good. It was great while it lasted, and now it's over. It's time to move on. I had no intention of a relationship. I was not looking for anything, but somebody was in my circle, in my midst. We was orbiting on the same frequency, vegan and health and children and both formally divorced and all of the stuff. And let's talk more. Yo, come to the event. Yo, blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, boom, bang, bing. Here we are, almost a year later. No arguments. Like expressing deep love for each other, deep appreciation for each other, and like really, really, really like growing, like pushing each other to be better. Just completing 31-day watermelon challenge together, sacrificing together now. How powerful is that? How powerful is it if you can sacrifice, right? Individually, great. What if you do it with a partner? And y'all both, mouth is mad dry, and y'all both, right, have dreams and goals that you place into each other's hearts, into each other's minds. I know they say for Black men, if you want to manifest something, put it in the heart and mind of a Black woman who loves you. Put it in the heart and mind of a Black woman who loves you. And I'm fortunate, again, with all due respect, right? She loves me, but then there's tons of other women who genuinely love me. My mama, my sisters, friends, ex-girlfriends genuinely love me, who I am, right? As a human being, I provide incredible, immense value to the world. They love me. And so my dreams, all of my dreams are coming true. Every single one of them, right? Every single dream that I've ever had is coming true right now in real time. How? Suffering, sacrifice, intentional. It's the beauty. It's the power of it. You take your power back because, again, the world going to beat you up. But as they say, you can't beat a man who won't be defeated, right? How can you beat a man who will refuse to lose? How can you beat a man who takes this fight into his own hands and say, I'm in control now. I'm the master, right? I was reading, I finished 5 books last month, right? Literally 5 books. I read 1.5 yesterday. All right. One book was short, 77 pages, right? The 12 universal laws, 12 laws of the universe. The other one was 140 something, Message to the People by Marcus Garvey. And I forgot what I was going to say because that Marcus Garvey book, as I started to think about it, it threw me off, right? The book was incredibly hard to read, right? But I did it. I completely lost my thought. My apologies, right? But sacrifice, intentional suffering, right? No pain, no gain. Can you put yourself through the fire? Can you? Most people won't. That's most people are average. You got to determine for yourself if you're going to be average or you're going to be great. You could be average and I guess pretty great, but if you want to be legendary, if you want to put your name in the upper echelon with the greats of the world, right? The Dr. King, the Malcolm X's, the Christ, the Buddhas, the Harriet Tubman, the Rosa Parks, the Sojourner Truths, right? The freaking Fannie Mae, right? If you want to put yourself in the realm with those legends, right? They did their own thing, own sacrifices, own commitments. But you got to find your way. What can you sacrifice? What will you sacrifice? What are you willing to give up to become everything that you could be? You got to give a part of yourself. That doubt, that fear, that comfort, that mindset that says things like that don't happen for people like me. Let go of that. Put that to bed. Whose language is that? Where'd you hear that at? Where'd you hear that from? Because if I'm not mistaken, the greatest people in the world are all the people who had the greatest suffering. Broken homes, born out of rape, father in jail, mother dead on crack, father abusive, mother pimping the children, right? Like people homeless, people sleeping with rats, right? It's crazy stories. People born in abandoned buildings, the Patrice Lumumbas, right? The Che Guevaras, right? Like there's so many more, right? There's so many more legends. You want to put like, and the story is everybody's story is very different, right? Johnny Wimbrey, if you don't know who he is, look him up. Johnny Wimbrey is an incredible human being, incredible speaker. I aspire to work with him one day. He's freaking incredible. He tells a story. He said his earliest memory, he was living in a shelter. He said he might have been 2, 3 years old. He said his earliest memory was going to the refrigerator to get some milk and his mother telling him, no, put it down. You can't have that. So that was his earliest memory. He's 2, 3 years old. Clearly he lived before that, but his memory that's ingrained in him, his earliest memory as far back as he can remember, is being told no for some milk and yelled at and being chastised because he wanted some milk. He was in a shelter. Scarcity mentality. And now he's a freaking, I think he's worth like 100 million, maybe 50 million or more. It might have been like 50 million like 8, 9 years ago, right? So I'm estimating it's about 100 million now. As a speaker, life coach, right? Trainer, business trainer, personal development coach, and all of that stuff. Incredible things. Said, fool, put a woman's name there, my brother. All right, put a woman's name, man. We got a lot of men. Yes, great. Let's highlight some women, right? A lot of great women who sacrificed. The Joy Powells, right? Talk about it, right? The Sada Shakars, the Afeni Shakars, right? Talk about the women, right? And it's nothing against you, my brother, but we get inundated with the men who sacrifice and the men who are leaders. Tons of women who've been leading, like even more than the men, right? When men got quiet, it was the women who kept things going. The Black women, right? Who kept community afloat, who kept families together, right? So like we gotta celebrate them and we gotta highlight them more and more and more, right? So I challenge you, my brother, throw some women's names up there, all right? You're gonna throw the men's names, throw the women's names up there, my brother, please. Absolutely. But yeah, man, right? We are here because of our past. We are here because of our choices, our decisions, right? And I challenge you all to ask yourself, what can I sacrifice today? How can I suffer for the greater good of not only my life, but of the lives of my family, the lives of my community, the lives of my friends, the lives of people I don't even know? What can I give up? What can I abstain from? What can I remove myself from ultimately to make myself greater at the end, right? What can I remove myself from, sacrifice today for a period of time so that I can be greater at the end? There is beauty, I promise you, there is beauty and there is power in intentional sacrifice and suffering. What are you willing to sacrifice? You don't got to sacrifice without sacrifice, but you got to sacrifice something. And I'm going to say the best thing to sacrifice, right? The easiest thing to sacrifice is the hardest thing. The easiest thing and the hardest thing, right? As my man Arthur Henry says, the hard thing about hard things is to stop eating. Sacrifice food. Sacrifice food. Sacrifice your comfort. We slept outside for 2 weeks. We didn't have to, but we had to. Sacrifice your comfort, right? Can you go sleep outside? Can you sleep on a friend's couch? Right? You struggling paying bills at your crib. Sacrifice. Go back to your parents' house. Save some money. Build yourself back up. Right? Go to a friend's house. Stay with a sibling. Right? If they will let you and if you feel comfortable. Sometimes it's not even about feeling comfortable. You might got to sleep on the couch. And there might be children crying. And there might be a dog barking. But like, okay, sacrifice. Save your bread. Get your chips together. And then come back stronger later. There's millions of ways to sacrifice. There's millions of ways to skin a cat. It's more than one way to skin a cat, they say. So what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? You got to sacrifice something. Sacrifice something and let your suffering be intentional. Life is going to kick you around. It's going to happen. As they say, in life is not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you. So how are you responding to your struggle? Can you take the power in your hands and say, I'm going to intentionally suffer. I'm going to take the power away from all of these people who are trying to play me, from all of these people who are calling my bluff, from all of these people who are doing X, Y, and Z. I'm going to take the power back. I'm going to suffer intentionally. I'm going to sacrifice my comfort zone. I'm going to sacrifice everything that I need for my body and everything to get my mind right, to get my spirit aligned with my destiny, and I'm going to go forward. So literally, ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice? My brother sacrificed his comfort of a home to go live in a shelter, right? Like, that's incredible. Like, he had a home with family, right? Like, he said, nah, I know eventually it's going to change, and right? Like I need something of my own. And so I'm trying it this way, but you know what? I'm going to sacrifice. Sacrifice. I'm going to take myself to the shelter. With a mindset, not that, oh, I can't believe I'm in it. Like, yo, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to build with who's here, the brothers that's here, and I'm going to get something out of it. I'm going to save my money, and by the end of this time, whenever I get my crib, I'm going to have a couple thousand saved as opposed to what I was paying rent by staying with family, right? He sacrificed. It's intentional sacrifice and suffering, right? Like, intentional, right? Have a curfew. Grown men with a curfew. Sacrifice. So what are you willing to sacrifice? Intentionally. What are you willing to suffer through? Intentionally. So that you can vibrate higher at the end. 30 days, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, 50 days, whatever it is. Sacrifice. Make a commitment. Be intentional about it. And I promise you there's beauty at the end. I promise you there's magic, a miracle. You are the miracle, and you can cause the miracles to happen in your life. Miracles don't just randomly happen, although it may seem like it. But it's your thoughts, is the energy that you are vibrating on, the frequency that you are vibrating on, the energy that you are emitting out into the universe, right? It's all of that. My lips is getting dry. It's crazy. But we're here. But we're here, and we're doing it, and we sacrificed. And I promise you, I see clear as day. I was crying yesterday when I looked at June. When I looked at June and looked through, like, what's possible, I cried multiple times yesterday. Because I know at the other end of sacrifice, right? I hear, I listen, I pay attention, I take heed. All of the wisdom in the universe at the end of your what do you say? Again, I said it earlier, your blessings, right? Everything you want is is on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of your comfort zone. I hear that. I took heed to that. I watched, I observed the people around me, the people who I don't know who are right in the spotlight, right? I observed them, I listened to them. I took heed. And so I know, and I've done it. I've sacrificed, right? I've done it, right? After the 2-week hunger strike, magic happened. After the 30-day freaking water fast in 2023, magic happened. At the end of the 40-day fast last year, magic happened, right? At the end of the 40-day fast last year, not only did I have a breakup, right? That was long overdue, respectfully, but I met a movie theater owner who gave me a movie theater for free to do an event. I sold out the theater. Gave me a movie theater for free. I didn't have to pay for the theater. People do events at movie theaters, they screen their stuff, but they pay for it. They pay for it, right? And that's cool. It's great to be able to pay for a theater, to have your friends come through. It's great. I didn't have to pay for the theater. And I made money because I was able to sell tickets. 100% of ticket sales was mine. They made money just off concessions, and they made good money. We had 100 and something people in that theater. 75 seats. We had like 110, 120 people. Right? Like sold out tickets, $50 tickets, $25 tickets. We sold out. Somebody, listen, somebody flew from Georgia to come to my event. They bought a ticket, bought a plane ticket, flew from Georgia, stayed with who is now my fiance. At the time, we were just friends, acquaintances, right? Getting to know each other on a friendship level. We got her friend, right? Didn't have to convince her friend. Came, told her about it. Oh, yeah, I'm there. Like, what? That's the person doing what? I'm there. That's why he flew up. They flew from out of town to come to my event. A couple $100. All right? Plus time away from family, plus time away from responsibility, spent money to come. That was at the end of a 40-day fast. Blessings. And it gets greater. So the 31 days now, challenge, watermelon, 3 days with 3 days of breath, deep prayer, deep meditation. And I don't know what's going to come. I know that this month I got a specific vision, and it may be more than that. It may be different than that. It may be something that says, okay, we're going to give you this. Hold on, we're not going to manifest that vision for you yet. We're going to give you this because next month you're going to get triple that. Right? I'm open. I got a vision, but I understand. I got a plan, but I understand. I say it all the time, right? Man plans, God laughs. You want to make God laugh? Tell God your plans, right? Man plans, but Allah is the best of planners. It's said in many ways, in many religions, in many spiritual systems, in many schools of thought. But what are you willing to sacrifice? Intentionally. What are you willing to suffer through so that you can get to the next level to provide more, to become more, so that you can give more, have more, do more? It's a question for you to ask your spirit. Who are you? Whew. Whew. Yo, mouth is super dry. We're going to rinse it after this. I'm not drinking water until after I'm going to the Buddha Center after this. I'm going to shower, go to the Buddha Center, do some chanting. When I get back, about 11:30, 12 o'clock, that's when I'll break fast. That'll be about 80 hours with no water, with no juice, with nothing, just me and my breath. So what are you willing to sacrifice, my brothers and sisters? What dreams do you have that you want to manifest? What miracles do you want to cause for yourself and your family? Ask yourself that. What do I want to give? What am I willing to give? I used to ask when we did the mentoring program with Michael Sledge and Sledge Group, the Real Men Mentoring Program at Toro College on Wednesdays. Right, that's what we did a couple years back for a couple years. They did it for a long time. I was involved for like maybe almost 10 years. Right, I used to ask everybody, not just the young people, but the fellow adults, the fellow mentors. I used to ask, what do you want? How bad do you want it? And what are you doing or willing to do to get it? So what do you want? How bad do you want it? What are you doing and willing to do to get it? Let's go into a short meditation, guys, before we close out this week's session on Sunday Light. If you can, if you are seated or laying down, get comfortable. If you are seated, allow your feet to be planted firmly on the floor beneath you, or if you are on a stool, allow your feet to rest on a bar or a bench. If you are laying down, just find the most comfortable position, preferably lay on your back. Allow your hands, your arms to rest gently in your lap or by your side, whichever is most comfortable for the position that you are in. Allow your head to lean forward so that your chin is in your chest. And allow your eyes to close ever so softly. And just allow yourself to breathe. Just allow yourself to breathe, not trying to control it, not trying to manipulate it, simply becoming aware of it. Becoming aware of the rise and the fall of your stomach, your abdomen. Being aware of the breath being pulled up through your chest, through your lung cavity, to your brain, give you more oxygen. Even though you may be tired or thirsty, you have enough in your breath to sustain you. Be aware of the beauty, of that blessing that is breath, that is life. If you can control your breathing, you can control your life. And as your breathing begins to settle, turn your attention to your mind and become aware of all of the mind stuff. Become aware of the sounds of the birds outside. Become aware of the sound of my voice. Become aware of any sounds that are happening around you. Become aware of any sensations you may feel in your body, any pains, any cricks in your neck or your back, your arms, your hands, your legs, the sniffles. Become aware of all of your thoughts, of the hopes, the dreams, and the fears of tomorrow. Become aware of the memories and the regrets of yesterday. And become aware of all of the joys, the beauty, and the pains of today. And as your breathing has settled at a steady pace and your mind becomes still, I want you to create an image of yourself in your mind as you are today, exactly where you are right now. If you are in your bed, be there, see yourself there. If you are outside in the park, be there, see yourself there. And see yourself there clearly. See yourself there clearly as you are. What clothes are you wearing? Are you wearing what you have on right now? See yourself as right now. That's exactly where you are. See yourself. And then remove everything. And see yourself in darkness, naked. Just you, your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, and your soul. Just you. Stripped of everything that you thought made you. Not your role as mother or father or daughter or son, as husband or wife, as educator, entrepreneur. See yourself as human. See yourself as an individual who is here on a specific mission. And then ask yourself as you stand there alone and naked, maybe a little afraid, maybe a little intimidated. Ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here? And what am I willing to sacrifice? What more can I give to get to the life that I desire? The life that's in my heart, the life that's on repeat in my mind, the life that in my spirit I know is for me. What do I have to give up? What am I willing to give up? Who do I have to become to have that life? And then commit to that. Affirm, I am committed to the work needed so that I can become who I know I really am. I am committed to doing the work that is needed so that I can become who I know I really am. Affirm one more time. I am committed to doing the work that is needed so that I can become who I know I truly am. And keep that affirmation in your hearts as you go throughout this day, as you go throughout this week, specifically when you are faced with a decision. Do you go this way? Do you go that way? Even more so when the decision may include some sacrifice or some suffering. Ask, what may be on the other side? Is it worth it? And take a few minutes, a few moments to sit in this awareness, to sit in the space of dedication and commitment, of questioning, observing, and remembering. We all came here with a purpose. Can you remember what yours is? Know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. Know that you are sacred and you are adored. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. And you are greater than you could ever imagine. I love you. I love you. I love you. Ashe. When you are ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes, move your toes, move your fingers, give yourself a neck roll. Come back to the space. Listen, guys, all of you are limitless. I believe in each and every one of you. Have a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful week. The world is your oyster. Don't make it all happen. Appreciate you guys. Peace and love.